Alright guys, so today we're checking out the brand new V-Moda Crossfade 3 wireless headphone. Now these do come in at $299, so it puts it right there in competition with the Sony WH-1000X M4s and the Bose QC35s and 45s. So you would expect this pair to have active noise canceling, which it doesn't. So if you're already looking in this price range to buy a pair of headphones with noise canceling, this isn't going to be that pair. But we're gonna check out some of the features that this pair does have. We're gonna talk about the sound, what all comes inside the box, and see if it can still be worth that $300 price tag. So to start with, let's go ahead and talk about the design and the colors that these come in, because it is available in 3 different colors. You have a bronze version, you have the gunmetal black, which is the version that I have here, and then there's also a matte black model, which I think is going to be available next month. Now, as far as the overall design, and this is one of my main complaints, and it's not on the design itself, but it is the fact that V-Moda hasn't really done anything to change the design. There's nothing that makes this pair stand out from a lot of the other V-Moda headphones. In fact, this pair just essentially looks like the other Crossfade headphones, and some people may not have a problem with this. I know that the Beat Studio headphones have had the same look for a while. The Sony WH lineup has stayed the same all the way up into the new ones that came out this year, and then of course most Bose headphones have that same look. So the appearance may not matter, but I think you really should alter the design when a new one comes out, especially when the original Crossfades and the Crossfade 2s have had the same design, and those have been out for years. Now this pair does use dual diaphragm 50mm drivers. It also works with V-Moda's app, so that is where you would go to kind of change some of the EQ options that they have built in. You can also customize the EQ settings the way that you want, but really outside of that, there's not much you can do because this pair does not have noise canceling. There's no transparency mode, so there's nothing really you can go in and switch around. Now, as far as the technology itself, this pair has Bluetooth 5.1, and one huge upgrade for this model over the previous ones is this pair has aptX HD playback. So it's capable of up to 24-bit playback, but if you want to get the high-res audio out of this pair, you're going to want to use it in wired mode. And I still think wired is always going to be better than Bluetooth, and that is definitely the case when it comes to the Crossfade 3s. Now in the box, it does come with the exoskeleton case. I believe they started making this case design when the M100s came out. Now it also comes with that carabiner clip that you can put on the top so that you can attach it to a bag. It comes with the 3.5mm cable, which again, I highly recommend if you're just sitting at your desktop. And then it also comes with a 1/4-inch adapter so you can plug it into your amp. And it comes with a USB-C cable for charging. And speaking of the charging, again, this is another area that they made a huge improvement because the Crossfade 2s only got around 14 hours of battery life, but the Crossfade 3s now get up to 30 hours. So they've basically doubled the battery life and then added a little bit more. So if you are somebody that likes to use your headphones for a very long period of time without having to charge them, having 30 hours of battery life is a huge plus. So moving back to looking at the design of the headphones, the build quality on these are solid. That's always been the case with V-Moda headphones. You can basically pull these out, twist them, turn them. You don't have to worry that they're gonna break. The design, again, I think is just dated. We've seen it a million times before with V-Moda headphones. It does have the custom shield plates on the outside if you do want to customize the headphones. And this is another area that I wish they kind of borrowed from the S80s that they just released, because I like the magnetic shields that you could just pull off and put on easily without having to screw them on like you have to do with the Crossfade 3s. Now the headband on these is a pleather-like material. It is very soft. The ear pads themselves, I feel, are very plush. Now it is a memory foam ear pad, so over time it just kind of sits on your ears a little bit more comfortably, and it's overall a very comfortable pair of headphones. Now the hinges on these I think are built very solid. You can fold these headphones down. They actually can fold down to be a very small pair, so it's very easy to throw in a bag or again throw it into that really nice case. Now I don't like the loose cables that are inside the headband. I do understand that, you know, a lot of headphones have this, but I wish they kind of hid them into the headband. That way you don't have to worry if something grabs them or clips that cable, it's going to ruin your headphones. Now, as far as the actual controls, everything is located on the right-hand side. You have kind of a slider, which is your power button and your pairing button. And then on top is where your 3 buttons are located. And this is what gives you control over your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and also your volume control. Now, for you guys that do like to use your headphones for taking phone calls, I think the mic quality on these do a very good job of picking up my voice. And I also think they do a really good job of blocking out my surroundings if I'm using these in a noisy environment. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is the mic test using the Crossfade 3s. Again, I think it does a very good job of picking up my voice. Obviously, you can hear some digital noise here, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test, the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound. And I do want to start with the fact that they advertise these as having a club experience, and they definitely deliver on that front. This is a bass heavy headphones, and I say bass heavy because it gives these a slightly warmer sound compared to a lot of other headphones that are in this price range. But I do still feel like the mids have a very realistic feel. They're not doing too much to push them very forward, but they have them pushed slightly forward enough that it doesn't get lost if you're listening to something chaotic or anything that's just really bass heavy. You don't feel like it's drowning everything out. And the same thing kind of goes with the treble. Because these have a warmer sound, this is not a bright or harsh treble. That boomy bass just gives it a slight amount of warmth where it pulls it down a little bit. So if you like that very bright, harsh treble, this is not the pair for that. But I do feel like if you are a bass head or you just like that really strong punch, that is where this pair definitely delivers. Now again, you can go in V-Moda's app and switch around some of the EQ settings, but I still never felt like I could get the treble to that brighter, harsh sound, which personally is something that I like, especially in a pair of headphones that have a very strong bass. Now moving over to the soundstage and the sound imaging, I do feel like they could be slightly wider. I do think this again comes back to the fact that this is a warmer bass heavy headphone that tends to usually kind of close in your sound a little bit. It still made me feel like I was in a large room, and this pair does do a really good job of being able to pinpoint where different sounds are coming from. So really my overall opinion is this. It is a very solid pair of headphones. It is a pair of headphones we've definitely seen before when it comes to a design standpoint. I really do think they should start incorporating some new things into the headphones as far as the design goes. But they did up these to having aptX HD, which is giving you that 24-bit playback. But I do also feel at $300, a lot of people are going to be looking for noise canceling, which this pair obviously lacks. So the demographic that these are for are somebody that wants a bass heavy headphone, some really decent battery life, and a pair of headphones that's built like a tank and you just don't have to worry about. So yeah, I can recommend them to people that are looking for that. But if you need noise canceling, or if you like a lot of options in your app like you get with the Sonys, there's just some better options in this price range. But guys, that wraps up my video on the brand new V-Moda Crossfade 3 wireless headphones. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.